And good afternoon. This is Idaho's Afternoon News. I'm Mark Richardson. Great having you here. It's 9 minutes after 4, and outside it's 65 degrees in Idaho Falls, 70 in Pocatello with winds of 14 miles an hour. And it's supposed to keep warming up this week until, well, through Saturday, and then it starts cooling down. I don't know if we'll see any more 70s. We'll see what comes after that, but it's going to be cooling down a bit, so enjoy it while we've got it. Well, with me right now, I have Christopher Brunt, who's running for State Representative, District 33A. Christopher, great having you with us today.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
You bet. Well, Christopher, this is actually you're the first of the interviews that we're doing here, so you got to kick the thing off.
Great.
And so before we get in there, I believe this is your first time running, isn't it?
This is, yeah, first time running.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you interested in running for politics?
Well, I think most of Idaho Falls might know me by my stage work. I'm a professionally contracted stage performer as well as a entrepreneur. I've owned my own business. And which is kind of why I'm in the election this year. Things didn't work out so well for me in 2010 with the Medicaid shuffle, which cost me my business, and that's what brings me here.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, before we get to that, because we're going to tie that more into the issues, let's talk about the fun part first.
Sure.
Stage. What do you do?
We're actually involved in 3 shows right now. Laramie Project coming up here on the 19th and 20th. With Breaking Boundaries at the Colonial Theater in Idaho Falls. There'll be a Broadway review in Pocatello at the Mystic Theater at the same time this month. And then The Wizard of Oz next month with Idaho Falls Youth Arts Council will be next month in November, right after the election. So I may be the gloomy lion on stage. Who knows?
You're going to be the lion.
I am the lion, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So do you sing and...
I sing, dance. Well, I'll try to dance anyway. I'm not quite a triple threat, but I'm a pretty mean double threat. I'm a good actor. I'm a decent singer. And so, yeah.
Well, you're out there talking to people. You can always give a song and dance, get them interested.
Absolutely. That gives me a little bit of an edge, I think.
That's right. So you say as far as contracting, what happened?
Well, I ran a small mom-and-pop size business that was a non-emergency medical transportation company. And in 2010, we had the Medicaid reshuffle that involved bringing in Molina from California and a transportation organizing company from Colorado. Both opportunities to give Idahoans jobs, and our government here in Idaho decided not to go that direction. And that cost me my business.
You lost your business,
I did, yeah, I did.
Boy.
I did. It's still technically open, but most of my clients were Medicaid clients. And because I couldn't compete with California standards and the Colorado standards, and there was a lack of care, I think, that resulted from having out-of-state companies involved, I got booted out. And that's part of the reason I'm running this year. So,
well, I'm curious. Well, we've got a couple of minutes here. Let's get into this part right now.
Sure.
When you take a look at healthcare, what is it you see that you would like to do that you think should be happening?
Well, I see a lack of interest in the areas that need to be addressed. I think one of the areas that needs to be addressed is the billing practices that are going on. We talk about insurance. But the fact of the matter is that's only part of the equation. One of the main things that both presidential candidates have agreed on is healthcare cost. And I think every politician will be out there talking about healthcare cost and then just seemingly ease right into insurance, which is only part of the problem. You need to be able to address the fact that there are some abusive billing practices going on. And what good is insurance going to do if the people who are causing the problems are still able to charge these ridiculous prices in complete contrast to the paychecks we make here, without even taking in respect that some of us live paycheck to paycheck. And if those prices aren't being regulated somehow, then there's your problem. What good is it going to do to have insurance if they keep paying elevated costs?
Okay, now, of course, Medicare is federal, so Medicaid would be the state and local.
Correct.
What would you want to do from the state end? If you were able to be elected as a state representative, what would you try to push through there?
Well, they talk about expanding Medicaid, and I would be in support of that unless Idaho had a plan to, like I said, control costs directly with the medical providers and provide an Idaho state plan that would lay out very clear-cut guidelines, which we don't necessarily have right now. I support the whole nullification idea, but I don't support it when there's no safety net for the people that need it. And that seems to me to be a glowing problem that we have as far as that goes. So.
Other thing, I mean, as you take a look at the other things that are going on with healthcare, one of them is the state exchange.
Right.
Do you like that?
I like it as long as we're able to buy insurance across state lines. That's real important to me, and that's a libertarian principle. free markets, and that's what it's all about. As long as you have that there, and as long as you can purchase your insurance from any other state, and make that the standard, I support a state exchange because it's an answer to the problem, I think. But it's only a little step towards the answer to the problem.
Now, it surprised me, actually, being a libertarian, that you'd be in favor, because actually with all the parameters coming down from the federal government, most libertarians are saying, we don't want everything to have the federal government pushing that.
I'm not an Ayn Rand libertarian, unfortunately. I'm a progressive libertarian. I consider myself that. I was actually raised in a Republican household, my mother and my father, and I still maintain a lot of those ideas. I consider myself actually a Jeffersonian Republican, but the Libertarian Party has a simple platform which is all based on a person being able to regulate their own life before the government steps in to do that, and that's what I like about it. And so I consider myself more of a libertarian, but definitely come from Republican roots, and that's important to me.
So you kind of cross over a little on both sides.
I think so, yeah. And then my family actually, cousins, we have Bill Brunt, many people might know. He was the state Democratic chair. And so we have a little bit of everything in my family. We're kind of a gumbo of political philosophy where I come from. So
pull it all together and see what comes out.
Absolutely. Hopefully something good. I think it is, actually.
All right. We're talking with Christopher Brunt. He's running for State Representative District 33A on the Libertarian Party. And we'll be back with more from him. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to give us a call. 524-TALK, 524-8255.